Today we'll be making Nigerian native okra soup, and we'll be taking it with our swallow, of course. But I'm going to show you the kind of swallow that we are using. We have different types of swallow. We have fufu, we have gari, we have semo, you can use whatever you like to do swallow these days. So I use something different to do it. So let me show you what I'll be using for my soup today. I'll be using okra, of course. But first, let me show you. This is my stockfish and my dry fish, washed and clean. This is my grated okra. I grated this okra. These are my proteins. Different type. I've got roasted turkey. I've got shaki, goat meat, and orishirishi, if you know what I mean. I've got my prawns. Again, if you watch my channel, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I love cooking with prawns. Today I've got my snail. I've got my snail, my seasoning, of course, my vegetable, green vegetable. This is ugu. You can use any vegetable of your choice, but I prefer my ugu. This is uziza leaf. I brought it from the freezer. That's why the color is a bit dark. And this, my chopped okra. I diced this one with knife. And of course, this is my pepper. And in there, you can see the bits, the black. It's okwe. I blended the pepper and the okwe together. This is Scotch bonnet pepper and tatashe, or you call it sweet pointed pepper. So my meat stock is in there. Started cooking. In goes my stockfish and my dry fish. I just want to put everything because I've prepped everything and it's just for me to start cooking, which it makes the job easy. So I've added my proteins, all my proteins, the stockfish, the dry fish, um, the other proteins, which are the snail, the roasted turkey, the goat's meat, and the shaki. Added my pepper mix into the pot and I'll leave to boil. I'll leave it to boil for few minutes. I leave it to boil for like 5 minutes. Yeah. After boiling, we'll mix together and we add our red oil, which is our palm oil. This is essential. Some people don't like doing it. They don't like using oil, red oil. They just cook their oil, their okra plain, but I like using my red oil and my pepper because number one, the color, it gives it this very beautiful color. Number two, if you're using a very good oil, it tastes really good. And I'm using a very good oil straight from the village, straight from my compound in the village, from the village. Yeah, so it's a very good oil. Yeah, when you eat good soup, with good oil, you enjoy it. Yes, in goes my prawns. Not too much. These are leftover prawns. I made fried rice and the leftover ones, I didn't use all. I added it to the pot and I'll leave to boil again. You know, always test your food when you are, cooking. In goes my seasoning, like I said. After doing this, I'll still have to taste it again to see if it's the exact taste that I want. So after putting my season, I'll mix, mix, mix. Yeah, mix, mix, mix. Guys, I almost forgot to put my crayfish. Unbelievable. I almost forgot because the crayfish I had, I normally put in my cupboard, but it's finished. So there's this one inside the cupboard. In. So when I remembered, I was like, I almost forgot my crayfish. How dare me? Because I've added the um, stockfish and enough dry fish. The dry fish was the cat one, the catfish. The smoked, not smoked, is dried. So I added my grated okra to thicken the soup a bit. Our soup is getting ready. I added the grated okra first. Then I added my uziza leaf, just a little bit, not too much. Yeah, I added the uziza leaf and I mixed it together. And of course, I've remembered that, yes, I have not added the, what's it called? The, at this point, I do not, that's my own method of cooking okra soup. I do not put the lid on, no, because the okra, I want it to be, really slimy. I don't want it to cut. So now I'm adding my crayfish. I'm always generous with my crayfish when I'm making anything with crayfish, because crayfish is very good in your soup and is essential in every Nigerian soup that we make. We use crayfish. As an Igbo woman, that's what I do. I use crayfish here. The only thing that is missing that I did not put is opaka. Uba is finished and I've ordered some. Hopefully I will have them. I love to use that for my okra soup. This okra soup tasted so good. It has this native taste because everything in there was complete. It has this native taste, if you know what I mean. Everything was just cooking putu putu. So right now I'm adding my chopped okra. Yeah, in goes my chopped okra, and it's ready to mix. And I kept on mixing. No lid on. We are not putting the lid of the pot on. No, we'll just mix. And after adding this one, we mix it up. Ah, look at it. We will now add our green vegetables, which is the ugu leaf. You can use any leaf. You can use spinach. You can use curl. You can use any vegetable of your choice. Some people just use only the uziza leaf and that's it. But I love vegetables in my soup. So I went to the African shop and I saw this ugu leaf. Whoa. I didn't even waste time. I dived into it. So I added loads. In fact, I used all the bundle. It was one big bundle. I was like, maybe I'm going to share it into two, keep the other one. But no, I said no, I have to use everything. I need this soup to be very rich with okra and vegetable. And that's it, guys. I was just mixing, adding, and mixing. If you're enjoying what you're watching, please do not forget to give me a like, follow my channel, and leave your comments. Let me know whatever you want me to cook, Nigerian dishes, and I will definitely deliver. Yeah, I've added the last batch of the ugu into the pot. Yeah, you can follow me on my other channels, my social channels, which is my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Facebook. It's the same name, and you click on the link if you want to go to the other channels to see what I'm doing on the other channels. Thank you very much for watching this video. Continue watching it so you will enjoy. This is what a mouth-watering delicacy. This okra soup. I've made one before. If you remember, if you go back to my videos, the one I made, I started frying with my peppers and all that. But this one I started with, the meat stock and that. Now I'm making my swallow. I'm using my organic oat to eat this delicious food soup. So I'm using the oat. I know they said oat is not really, but sometimes that's what I do if I don't want to take the pando yam and I don't have my yam, because I prefer to cut my yam, cook my yam, and use my blender or my chopper to, make the pounded yam. But I don't have yam today and I decided to use oat, and it really came out well. I just added the oat into my ninja blender and I added water to be a little bit above the oat so it won't be too thick and not too much water so it won't be watery. So before I started, I added a little bit of oil into my pot. I added the blended oat and I started stirring. You have to stir. This is where the work is. You stir and stir and stir. So when it's getting thicker, you continue. It's getting thicker, you continue. You can see it is thick here. I'm trying to using my tiny muscle to do the work, but it came out really nice. So after this part, you add your hot water. Some people just add on the boil, advisable to add your hot water so it will boil. So you leave to cook for like 2 minutes. That's what I do. This portion, this exact portion, I leave it to cook for like 2 3 minutes, and after that you continue mixing again. You have to use your muscle. If you don't have muscle, try and go and buy one. I'm using my muscle until my ancestors tell me, girl, you've done a good job. And that's it, guys. It is ready. My swallow is ready. My okra soup, my Nigerian native okra soup is ready. And I dish. I'm eating with my beautiful children today. And I dish, guys. Look at that. Woo! Look at that. The proteins are just calling me. Especially the snail. I was so happy I got this snail. It was pricey, but it's worth it because it's been a while I've had snail. So I had the snail to go with it. Look at that, guys. Oh, I feel like making this soup again. Seriously, look, I didn't really make much. I just made a little bit. And that's our swallow. Guys, try this and let me know if you got exactly like this. It tasted really, really good. Look at that. Look at that. And a friend of mine came and she had a taste of it. She's not Nigerian, but she enjoyed it. She really loved it. Thank you all for watching. I'll speak to you guys next time. Bye.